I think we have learned several lessons, right? One is that we have worked very fast. Communications have been key. There's been very fast spread of data that has been both positive and negative. I mean, the virus was sequenced, and the sequence was made public in days of its appearance, and that was very positive. But also, there's been a rush for new data, new discoveries, and sometimes this has led to less quality data being circulated. I think, to answer your question concretely, the main outcome is that communications, and particularly scientific communications, are an intervention in itself, and it's something that we need to improve. It has to be improved at several levels, right? So, at the science level, this people who do science need to engage more with the public and find alternative routes of communication rather than just the usual scientific journal, medical journal for medical experts. There needs to be a way to come closer to the public so they can understand what you're doing and what this is about and why it is important that taxpayer dollars invested in this. Um, there's also a need for the journals themselves to assess their business model, which right now is based on an industry that receives um, a product for free from the scientists, have the scientists themselves do quality control, and then sells it back to them by fees of or registration fees in the journals, or by open access fees. So the journals have to see a way to improve their business model and the way they engage with scientists. The general public has to be inspired, or we have to engage in positive ways and try to make stop short rumors and miscommunications that have harmed so much during the pandemic. So at three levels: so scientists, journals, the public, and the public, I guess, includes social media, right? The way we use it, the way social media works itself has to be assessed. We're moving from a paper-based communication strategy to a completely electronic strategy in science. And however, we still stick to many of the dogmas from the paper era, and this doesn't help. Now there's a myriad of open access journals and a myriad of uh, preprint servers, etc. And this helps accelerate, but not necessarily um, facilitate or improve the quality of communications, of scientific communications. The super connected world, as in tech, has helped a lot. But what I meant, the sequence was shared fast, and any high quality, impactful developments are shared broadly, and people can stand in the shoulders of giants to build fast on this. So tech has also, yeah, a very positive side. They have helped connect and improve communications. We have now the capacity to go beyond the usual senses, right? When I was talking about paper-based communication for science, we do many. There's a parallel with the way we see patients as well, right? We have paper-based communication, but we also have human ear-based assessment of the heart, which is basically I listen to your heart, I listen to your lungs, and based on what I can hear, with my limited hearing capacity, trained or not, I make that part of my assessment and my decision making process. And nowadays we can do much more than human ear based assessments, right? We do X-rays, we do echoes, we could do ultrasounds, we do ECGs. But this aspect, the hearing, has been not so much improved, and I think HIFE is an opportunity to do that. There's other aspects in which human senses are being improved or bypassed or to see things. Right now, there's dogs being trained to smell malaria, for example, and because they have such a high sensitive smell, then they can actually tell malaria patients apart from each other. They're trying to do the same with COVID. With hearing, well, we have everywhere now microphones, and there's artificial intelligence, and there's lots of algorithms out there that can actually help improve this very basic assessment, which is done with my ears and an extension of them through a tube into your heart or into your lungs. So we can actually take advantage of this super ear to try to find new things, new guidance, new insights. I worked very deep in the Amazon, and you have to take a small plane, fly for half an hour, and land in the middle of the jungle. So it was very difficult to get information in or out. So we will have a tough time finding out what's happened there. I mean, with some of these indigenous communities, it took years to find out there was a huge HIV epidemic. So unless somebody is effectively looking at indigenous communities in South America, the information will not come quick. Mozambique and all the places where I have project, Tanzania and Kenya, it seems there is the pandemic is progressing, but we are not seeing as many deaths as in other places of the world. And this is somehow attributed to the age structure of the population and less and different social interactions, which is good news. People expected Africa to do much worse given comorbidities and poverty, but it seems that age structure, social interactions, and general lifestyle seem to be protecting them. What we're doing is a trial in which we're trying to assess whether if a lot of people are using an app that can capture cough at a community level, we're trying to do several things. But one of them is to see if we're capable to convince a lot of people in the community to use it constantly or consistently. So that's the first challenge. See if we can actually convince a lot of people in the same area to use it. Two, we want to see if once everyone or a lot of people are using it, if we can construct heat maps of cough at community level to see whether we can say, well, it seems to me there's lots of cough in road A or on street B. And then we want to try to match these heat maps of cough with heat maps of incidence of diseases that cause cough in the same area. So basically, we want to try to see whether we can predict the arrival of cough-causing diseases in a community by having this acoustic monitoring through cell phones. So this is a step up in what this app does. This app is right now is used at the individual level. You want to see how many times you coughed last week. This is bringing it up to the community level to see whether all of us using it could somehow protect each other by sharing anonymously or information with one another. But we want to start in the next month, and it coincides with the arrival of a huge second wave of COVID here in this area. So hopefully we'll be able to chip in and help.